welcome to Casuals of Runeterra, a special episode. I'm your host, Ryan, here with the other host, Edge.
And we've been having a lot of special ones. Like, it has been a very good time.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on your opinion.
They've been numbered episodes, right?
Yeah. They've been numbered, but they have been, like, special because of all the content that we have on the way.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You know, like,
I understand.
LeBlanc is a numbered episode, but why are we talking about LeBlanc? You know, it's a good time.
I get it.
Depending on your viewpoint to be a League fan.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the least special thing we do, though, is South King. It's like a birthday. It's always there. Everyone has one, right? So you can listen to us everywhere. Visit us at podcastcore.com for all of our info. Email us at podcastcore@gmail.com. Follow us on all the platforms because that helps us with discoverability. We appreciate it. And then leave a like and comment wherever you listen the most, or everywhere if you're willing. But word of mouth has gotten us this far. So tell a friend to find strength in compassion by listening to the Casuals of Runeterra podcast.
Strength and compassion. We must be talking about something really nice today, right?
Well, I got news for you, brother. So what are we doing? Yeah, what's this special? So essentially, for Welcome to Noxus, they had an in-game event, quote unquote, where they released some motion comics, and then one of the comics included a game. And the way we want to do this is kind of different from how we've done multi-part episodes before, because these stories are so short. They're not your standard comic length like we've done in the past. We want to do them in 3 separate parts as they were presented, but they're all technically connected. So when we release these episodes, you won't have to wait the standard length of time in between each episode. We're going to release them in batches every couple of days, and there'll be 3 of them. So there's the 4th principle, which is the one we're talking about today. There's the Bringer of Ruin, and then the Demon Hand. And we'll do them in that order. So today, we're going to start with the 4th principle.
Yeah, and that's right. That's 3 episodes you can look forward to, because all stories should be told in 3 parts.
Yeah, and this one is actually written by the young up-and-comer we've talked about before, Taylor Dinwiddie. Great name, unforgettable. And all good stories in 3 parts, but this one it's too short, right? So yeah, it's just 1 part, as we mentioned. So the comic starts at the Noxus arena in the Shuriman quarter of the Immortal Bastion, and Mel is getting dressed in her formal attire for the event, while her assistant is getting excited at all the energy in the arena.
And it's really nice as far as get to see Noxus in its territories, instead of just like, oh yeah, we only get to see Noxus as far as either being, the hired muscle or at the Immortal Bastion, right? This is the Imperial Nation, so they're going to have outposts everywhere. And we know that it wouldn't look the same as this, but this gives us an idea of like the kind of environment that characters like Set would have grown up in.
Yep. Exactly. That was the flashback I was getting to our Set episode, because that all takes place in an arena as well. So it's actually the first time we've gone back in the story element. But at this point, Mel's having a flashback to the arena event she attended alongside Ambessa. And this is kind of insinuated that this is her first event based on how Ambessa's talking to her about it. And Ambessa tells her, take a good look at the Way of Noxus. This is what it all means. And as she watches, Ambessa mentions that in the arena, or watching this, was the first time she discovered what the 4th Noxian principle was, and that is sacrifice, alongside the other 3, which is vision, might, and guile. And she claims that it's the mark of a true warrior, and one must be willing to sacrifice anything for victory, and this includes allies.
And for us who are fans of the show Arcane, this is not a surprise. The 4 principles is a bit of dialogue that we get from the 2nd season of Arcane from Ambessa herself. So it's really nice to have a flashback that is like the first time that they've had this conversation, right?
Exactly. And during this talk, right, we're getting slides because it's a comic, right? So there's visuals here. And during this talk, we're seeing Alistar is fighting in this arena and using his ally to gain an advantage. The crowd's cheering. And Mel points out that even though he did this sacrifice, quote unquote, of his ally actually survives. And then Ambessa reminds her that there is no place for mercy on the battlefield.
And this was something that was really fun to see, but also like kind of caught me off guard because we've never talked about Alistar on the show.
I know, one of the OGs, right?
So it's like, oh yeah, here's Alistar in the arena. Oh shit, we never talked. We never told them about Alistar. Who knows? Like, if that's something that you want to learn more about, like, hit us up, podcastcore@gmail.com. But
we'll get there. But if you want to get there quicker, you have to.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But yeah, today's Alistar episode.
So Alistar then turns, looks at his ally, raises his massive fist, and then we cut to Mel, who's unable to watch the results of that action. And we flash back to the present, and Mel's assistant, is checking to make sure everything's okay because she's lost in thought. And she reassures her cousin, who we find out is the assistant, that she's fine and heads towards her seat.
And with the panels that we get as far as Alistar, one, first using his ally, and two, executing said ally. One of the things that is paired with it is the ally himself. Like, once he's looking up, he's like, well, yo, what the hell happened? Looks shell-shocked, realizes what's going on, and then he just salutes Alistar and holds the salute until the deed is done, right?
Yeah.
So this is, it's a really fun way as far as showing the Noxian, the ideology behind all of its soldiers, and by proxy its citizens as well. Like, this is the Noxian way. And it also serves as a reminder that Mel's the upstart, right? Like, Mel is not the norm. This is the norm, which is get used as a living weapon by a giant cow and then executed in front of a bunch of people.
That's somebody's kink. The those panels you mentioned reminded me of like Senpoku, right? Where you are committing suicide, but also somebody's supposed to cut your head off so that you don't, suffer to your death, right? There's another step to it that involves one of your allies or someone else, right? So the same thing with that salute, right? Where he's like, it's not him trying to resist. It's not him trying to fight back. He understands the Noxian principles. And we cut back. Mel's good. And finally, as she's walking to her seat, she's kind of resolute, where she's reassured that her mother is wrong, right? We've talked about this in our Mel episode. Definitely listen to those. And listen to our Ambessa episodes as well. Because she has, by the time she gets to Noxus, we know that she has reached a conclusion that I'm right, my mother was wrong. And specifically in this moment, she was wrong that the key to her strength is sacrifice. For her, it isn't. For her, she knows compassion is her biggest strength. And it's not a weakness. And that's what she's functioning on as she's returned to Noxus. And that's where we leave off.
Yeah, and this is like, it's a well done job as far as showing the character growth of Mel in season 2 of Arcane, if you had never watched Arcane, right? Like, because specifically the exchange about the 4th principle of the Noxians and Mel's adaptation of this 4th principle. Both of those things are contained within the show, but it's like, if you hadn't watched the show, how the hell are you going to know anything about Mel, right?
Yeah.
So I think this was a pretty good job as far as like kind of tying that storyline into a little bow for the viewers who are probably new to all of this.
Yeah.
As someone who's not new to all of this, it was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. But what this gives us, and this is a big thing, is that we now know where Mel ends up when she lands. Or we have an idea, right? Because when we got the original trailer, after all the arcane shenanigans, right? And this we're in the general discussion section, so we're wrapping up, by the way. But we were wondering, okay, well, how is she received when she comes back? Well, it looks like she picks up where her mother left off, but now with all of the skills she's learned, because to our, estimate, we were like, well, people in Noxus don't know what the hell's going on in Piltover, right? So all that shenanigans that happen, all they know is, oh, the daughter of our war leader is back. So we're going to treat her like that. And having her assistant be her cousin, having it still be in the family. We've talked about the family dynamics before as well. This is a cool little hint of what to expect when we start Welcome to Noxus whenever that comes out.
Yeah, and it's also going to be very interesting to see if Welcome to Noxus is going to actually begin with this venture into Shurima and then on the way to the Immortal Bastion.
Yeah, like a stop, like a tour.
Yeah, I think this is like this stop into Shurima isn't going to necessarily be something that we get to see in the show. Yeah. I think this is more of just like, to echo your point, this is more to show Mel's return to the family. Yeah. And then like from this return to the family, we're going to later go into how she gets back to mainland Noxus, because Shurima is not on the same continent.
So that was the part where I was kind of confused about the Shuriman Quarter versus it having the Immortal Bastion name. And we don't know. So like geographically, Shurima is so massive. So we don't really know how close they are. It could be like a Barrier Strait type situation, right? Where it's like, yeah, they're separated by water, but like you can see it, right?
Yeah.
So that means you can build across it, or anything like that. So that would be something that I hope they go into some of the geography stuff, because I definitely think they're going to touch on Shurima when we get to Noxus, and give us some more of that.
Yeah, I mean, it also kind of goes back to like when some of our older episodes when we first started talking about Mel and Mbessa, of like, are they actually, like born Noxians?
Yeah. Are they native Noxians?
Because again, it's an imperialistic nation. So this very well could be, because we know from this comic that she is staying with family. Like she's talking to one of her cousins. Is this a cousin who was given control of this Noxian land and for the Medarda family? Or is this where all the Medardas came from?
Yeah.
And this is where her cousin is growing up before she goes to school in Noxus. Who knows? So I for one would love to see if they touch on that some more too. I'm not. Once we get into like the like if you stay with us for the next episodes that we do that's covering this comic line, I'm a little doubtful we'll get to see some of that stuff, because LeBlanc and Vlad are up to some shenanigans. So like we might have to focus on what LeBlanc and Vlad are up to.
Yeah, we'll see the angle, but definitely this. I like the little, they're like little snacks, right? And it being in comic form, the way they present it, we definitely recommend watching the motion comics. So League of Legends put it all on their official site, all 3 of them. So if you didn't get to play the in-game stuff, definitely just go there and watch it. You get the same kind of presentation. So like we said, these are supposed to be short chunks. So as always, I'll keep an eye out for the next 2 when they drop. But as always, thanks for listening, and we'll be back soon with the next episode.
My God, we actually kept the short episode short. I feel like
talking.
we should talk for another 15 minutes.
Say the line. Say the line.
Take care, everybody.